You know, it's very fun to talk about the world in sort of grandiose ways. It's really fun to just like shoot the shit with your friends when you talk about like how the world works. I got a message from a friend like a bit ago just asking about like what the fuck do you believe in terms of um, movements of society? Like, what do you believe in terms of like, you've mentioned like rationalism before. What do you care about, right? And it's basically like, I think I care about things making sense, obviously, which sounds so stupid, but the more and more I do like things that I thought were difficult, the more and more I realize um, it's necessary for systems to make sense if you put the effort in to stare at them. We can't be led by opaque systems. You know, in encryption, it's usually a good system which is transparent, a good system that is defining exactly how it works so that people know, one, how it became secure, and two, how it keeps itself secure, being maintained and openly monitored, right? Math doesn't solve all things, no matter how much you try. We need methods that help us think about big scaled problems, right? And I've talked about this, how we're victims of scale. It's time we learn to talk about these ideas without getting pissed about someone not being able to have a concept tangible for such huge ideas. If you know, you don't. Oh, geez. Uh, that reminds me so much of like the grandpa who like is like reacting to the dude whose car got spray painted. Who the fuck cares? That's my question. Anyway, so we're like talking about what is our root of trust, like I've talked about before. What do we actually base ourselves on, and is it bearing weight as we grow as a world, as our needs increase, and as our expectations do so along with it. The problem is, it seems so obviously wrong to me. It's just like, it's not that the reasoning and the science that brought about the world is the thing we should be questioning, yet we see so many certain people do such thing, and it's so weird. It's sort of a postmodernism which steeps in an uneducated filth. It seems where if I need to pull out of the depths, what I'm trying to say is like something where you reject the fundamental principles in which are promoted a vaccine, and the science in which goes into it is a postmodernism taken awry. It's a I reject because things that are weird that we don't understand are happening all around me, and it's dangerous for me to cling to simply narratives, right? It's like, how am I supposed to trust vaccine? I didn't take any classes in biology or virology or genealogy. I don't even know, to be honest. But it's a healthy it's like a healthy skepticism taken to a point where we unalign ourselves from whatever ground truth a progress of reason and structure and what we know to be truth created. And it's that difficult stream. Having a really skeptical life, really creating skeptical people, how we process abstractions, what the hell's going on. And that's sort of the biggest idea. Rationalizing your decisions. That's really important for me, I think. The problem is providing a rational framework for people requires you to be able to be comfortable being flexible, which is not something many people are afforded, I think. You know, it's this difficulty in us discussing the details of how we rationalize, the sort of multiple ways that we allow people to define their own conclusions or infer what they will, it allows for people of authority to influence hidden vectors of information to permeate our spaces, and not in like some crazy psycho way of saying, I mean it literally in the sense of, it's just people can spread things, good or bad. This movement, this meta-modernism sounds to me like what most people are sort of converging upon in terms of a appropriately oscillatory respecting of science and reason, yet deliberately inclusive to weird ideas. These messages need not be for only certain people. The big point is these are ideas that we can't ignore. This meta-modernism in which we understand and respect that, holy shit, to grow a tree, maybe I do need to go find a seed and plant it, and oh, that's how we can get nutrients. But in terms of how we prepare the salad that got from the tree and how we, you really gotta go with me, but how we deliberate who gets to make what types of fruit salads, if you don't have a way to respect the enormous sea of consequence, do you have proof that those consequences are inconsequential, I guess? It's the questions that we have to ask. We have to do something impossibly difficult. Can you predict the impossibly difficult options? And from those difficult predictions, based on our fundamental reasoning of truth, as good as we can predict, but with our full and utmost respect of the diversity of options which come from that strength built from the truth and reasoning. That's the question we're asking of everybody. You gotta give some people some tangible way to make this make fucking sense, or we gotta put our money in the right place. Because people don't do the research. People are tired, people are hungry, people are not giving a fuck most often. So we gotta make our theories simple, rational, and on the point of this idealistic yet emotional yet modern, meta-modernistic taste. You know, it's basically saying, I'm always on my feet. We are always on our feet. We don't get fucking lazy in the way that we so obviously are, I think, in every direction, from the college student now having every freshman essay written by ChatGPT to the absolute abundance of wealth in which our most unfathomed riches could provide, could instill. It's confusing how insecurely we behave, myself included. This is why it's so fun to think about these ideas, because much like the fucking rationalists in the early days, they're just pedantic mathematicians, right? They want a better world. They want to use the amazing tools in which they become afforded. They want to change the world. And in some very, 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 very large ways they have. But you see, it's not just the blind faith in which promotes those. It's been solving the problem for the space race, for the COVID vaccine in today's age. God damn it, any whatever AI thing we're going after, things used to be cool, and now they're really cool, but they're we lost the plot. excitement is wonderful at getting people to do things and motivating. And that's what the theater of the world sort of looks like right now. It's sort of, we're all led and strung by like varying degrees of this theater. It should be beautifully orderly disordered, like a fucking beehive. We respect reason, and we act with an intent of a practical idealism, and that big picture, I think, philosophy is what I think many talented and well-spoken and well-meaning people are looking for, is like a leader who can act in this way. They're looking for someone who is able to not be so blind, able to have taste, in a way, like able to not just be the most déclasse operating agent that I've ever seen. And it's stupid how much it's weaponized and how much the hype that comes of that hate, how much this whole ensemble is sort of giving us a lot to learn from, I think, giving us a lot to enjoy about the freedom of thought, the exercising of human hacking, essentially. It's a great case study that people got to live in a world subject to exactly what it afforded, I think. Being as nice as I can say it, I'm being absolutely as nice as one can say it, but you need someone who can not just give up.